7 p.m. Texas at Alabama. Alabama, a 7.5-point home favorite. The vibe I got from reading Texas people, from talking to the Texas people in our Verballer Discord, was that last week was kind of lumpy. The win over Rice, 37-10. First half was blah. Second half was better. The line wasn't great. Quinn Ewers didn't look sharp. The defense was pretty good.
Yeah, it was very good, I think.
Defense was very good. JT Daniels, every time I looked up and every time I watched highlights, JT Daniels seemed to be running for his life the whole game. And Rice had, 27 yards rushing, something crazy like that. So
Hey, real quick, thanks for stopping by. Now would be a terrific time to subscribe to the Solid Verbal for college football videos all season long.
Look, I don't know what you can take from that, because it is not apples to apples to say Rice ran for 27 yards, and we know Alabama wants to run for 27 yards. So therefore, I'm not going to draw that conclusion. But it is interesting that Texas, again, looked good on defense. They were good on defense a year ago, especially against the run. To what end do we kind of draw any conclusions from that? To what end are you looking at what you saw from the Texas defense last year, projecting forward now into this big game? This was a 1-point game a year ago, 20-19, that Alabama almost lost.
With a much better quarterback. And I think Jalen Milroe is very good, but in terms of where Bryce Young was as a Heisman caliber quarterback and the seasoning he had, obvious national championship ceiling as a quarterback, where we don't know that with where Alabama currently stands. The game's in Tuscaloosa. That's a difference. The game should feature a better Texas defense, although they played pretty well last year and just until those last couple drives. And you have the obvious knowledge that Steve Sarkisian has of Nick Saban and the internal operations and game planning that Alabama has. And so I thought that played a role in how Texas was successful last year. It was the game that everybody still points to in terms of Quinn Ewers looking very strong until the injury he suffered with Hudson Card coming in relief. In terms of this year's matchup, I think it's close. Because of the Texas defense, because of that, the internal knowledge that Steve Sarkisian has, because Jalen Milroe is incredible, but I think the Texas defense can do enough to force him to be a pocket quarterback more often than not. And maybe he completely shreds them and makes them pay for, picking their poison like that, because you saw the connection, I think, was Isaiah Bond last week. A couple of really nice passes. So maybe that's developing there. I like Alabama to win this game, but I like it a little bit closer than what the line is at time of recording. So I had it at 27-21. So that's Texas barely covering. Alabama, again, winning late. The emerging young defensive stars that Alabama might make a difference in this one. And can't wait to watch. Texas a little bit beat up on offense. I worry a little bit about the winter wonder quality. I think Texas has very good receivers, but star power at receiver, Xavier Worthy sometimes. You can count me in the category of what exactly has Quinn Ewers done to garner the attention and spotlight that obviously being the starting quarterback for Texas gives you. But I'm call me a Ewers skeptic until proven otherwise.
You may recall that I've got Texas in my playoff.
Yeah,
one of my
still make the playoff losing this game though.
Could still make the playoff losing this game.
Yeah.
But it is not lost on me that if ever there were a moment for Sark, he knows what to expect in Tuscaloosa of Nick Saban, of a number of players on the team, because he helped recruit them. The game last year was way closer than anybody ever dreamt possible, 20-19. And I stand by the fact, and I know you're going to make fun of me for this, but I don't care. I stand by the fact that if Quinn Ewers does not get hurt in that game, Texas wins.
Okay.
Stand by it.
How many points had Texas scored when he got hurt?
I don't remember. Don't ask me specifics,
okay.
All right? This is just a raw reaction, emotional from Ty Hildenbrand.
Yeah. That's okay.
That is how I feel, deep into my marrow. This year, I think Texas is good enough to keep the Alabama offense in check. I think they're good enough on offense to score. I think Texas goes to Tuscaloosa and wins outright. I've got it 28-24. Texas pulls the upset of the weekend.
Wow. Okay, so we agree on the line and taking the dog here, that it's probably a little bit too much. You have it outright?
Outright, yeah.
So what we're going to have to see is a second half offense from Texas, which is not something we're super used to, as college football observers, and to do it in Tuscaloosa. Okay.
I think this could be one of those Rees games where you're watching the play calling on the Alabama side and wondering why are they doing this? Why are they running this? I don't
Now that you
understand.
can downgrade his shining moment last year in beating Clemson with Notre Dame.
I have priors, okay? I have priors.
Are we going to talk about that? I mean, we did a video. We put something out there. I don't know if you want to have the morning window brought to you by a quick Clemson Duke recap, but man, okay. Any concluding thoughts on Texas Alabama? You have this as a mental block of a game for Tommy Rees in the Alabama offense.
28-24.
Okay.
28-24.
Sark in a big game on the road. Okay. Let me write this down real quick.
So we sort of agree.
Sark against the greatest coach of all time on the road. Okay. And we sort of agree, but not an outcome.